Hey, good morning, everybody. Wanted to wish you a happy Sunday morning. I'm already 2 donuts and 2 cups of coffee in, and that was probably true about half an hour ago. So I hope everybody's doing great. I had the opportunity to meet and see a lot of you on Friday afternoon. The BAs, Audra, Rhea, and Kim were kind enough to do a growth pitch, growth plan session, and we had good attendance there. Had great conversations, and um, it's nice just to talk when you don't have the structure of our normal Monday and Friday webinars. So I really appreciated that time. Had some good laughs, and it really carried us into the weekend. I think pretty strong, pretty happy, pretty going forward. So wanted to lay out what's going on the next 2 weeks with Mod 9 so that you are aware, you're comfortable, and you have the ability to plan out what's going to make sense for you, for your schedule, and then pull in all necessary resources to help you get these last couple things accomplished. And I've heard the BA say that multiple times, are there ways that you can delegate some of these last things in order to better use your time and listen, maybe even practice run what's going to happen when you grow and you have more employees and you need time for yourself to work on instead of in the business. So let's do this. I'm going to start with the schedule for this week. And what I want to do is I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. We're going to share screen too. What we're going to do is we're going to pull open. That's not it. 1 second, please. There we go. We're going to pull open the schedule. Now, I want you to first look at the title. This is Action for Growth. And as we go over the next 2 weeks, that's what we're going to be focused on. And it's all going to be forward looking. Sometimes we look to the past. What are our processes? How do we improve them? What have been our metrics in the past? Are they the right metrics? How do we improve them? How do we change them? Do we adapt new metrics? Now, I really think that the focus is going to be for December 17th and after. And what happens when we don't get the opportunity to meet each week and go over a new area. So it's very forward looking. Tomorrow morning we'll come together 8:30 or 8 o'clock for our networking and our happy hour, our happy half hour, and then we'll go forward. Tuesday, we're going to have some paired partner exercises. And I wanted to stop on this because when you look at the paired partners, I think in almost every case, you are working with someone that you have previously worked with, and that's intentional on our part. It should be the person that you discussed exit strategies with back in orientation or mod 1. And so we want to come back and we want to have that follow-up conversation with that same person after we've been through the entire program. All right, we're going to talk about advisory boards and network building. We'll get into our growth group meetings. We'll do some work on advocacy. And then Friday, when we come back together this week, we're going to be joined by Mayor Nan Whaley from Dayton. I know everybody should be very familiar with what she has done and her positions, but wanted to just introduce that now so you can start thinking about questions for Mayor Whaley at that point in time. We'll also do some additional advocacy work on this Friday as well. And then what we're going to do next week, and week 2 of Mod 9, is we're really going to focus each day on growth pitches. And I'm going to take some time to discuss those here in a second. But we're going to have 12 per day. And then we're going to have some type of programming after those pitches. I'm working on an advisory board panel right now. We're going to talk about the alumni program on Tuesday of that week, and then we'll have celebration and recognition for all of you on that final Wednesday. That's kind of how we're going to break down what those weeks look like. So let's go really quickly, and let me blow this up so you can see it. I wanted to go back to the growth plan pitch. And then we can watch an example of it as well. So you're going to get 4 slides. Your first slide is a title, logo. What is this business? What does it do? What's that growth opportunity, right? So just that really brief introduction slide. The next three are going to be laying out how you move forward. So 3 key points of your growth plan. Maybe it's competitive advantages. Maybe it's putting up barriers to entry for others. Maybe it's just leveraging what you currently have. Then we're going to go to critical success factors. And I always go back to numbers and metrics with this one, how you're going to measure and hold yourself accountable as you go forward. And then what are those 3 key steps? And listen, this is action for growth, right? What are we going to do starting now that allows us to implement this growth opportunity? So what I want to do really quickly is I want to show you a sample. And this is Well Found Foods. And the audio should work, so we're going to go for it.
And friend, who are you presenting to?
I am presenting to an investor for working capital.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Sarah Frimhung, and I'm the CEO and founder of Well Found Foods. Well Found manufactures and distributes grab-and-go foods to retailers. So our products include sandwiches, salads, breakfast bowls, and we sell to retailers like universities. So we work with Georgetown University and American University. We work with coffee shops. We sell to Pete's Coffee and Tea, Compass Coffee, and different other coffee shops, like different other offices, that want to be able to offer fresh food to their clients. So our whole value proposition, we're trying to help people solve their fresh food problem. Our growth opportunity is that we want to leverage our existing business relationships and our existing distribution operation to offer a new product line. We want to go into pastry. 95% of our current customers are receiving pastry from another vendor. So there's a big opportunity for us there to, again, solve our customers' fast food problem by consolidating who they're ordering their products from. We have 3 key growth points in the path to executing on that growth plan. The first is to establish a licensing agreement with a pastry operation. So the way we want to get into this market, we don't want to do it ourselves, we actually want to acquire another company. So we want a license from a smaller bakery, and we've determined who that bakery is. And through that licensing, we want to validate the demand among our current clients, and then also learn about the operation to mitigate the risk of doing this big acquisition. The second thing that we need to do is actually establish that bakery operation. We want to hire 5 bakers in-house and get them moving with a minimal investment in infrastructure as we operate out of a shared kitchen. And then finally, we want to develop more bakery products. That way we can start to crowd out our competitors and, again, really serve as that one-stop fresh food solution. We're going to look at 2 metrics to track that growth, and they're very simple. The first is we're going to look at the clients who receive both deli and pastry from us as a percentage of our total clients. That's going to tell us for how many of our customers are we totally solving this need. The second thing we're going to look at is our cost of distribution as a percent of revenue. That's going to tell us, are we actually leveraging the assets, which is a whole part of our growth plan. It's how we're going to make money. We have 3 key next steps. By the middle of next month, we're going to figure out how we're going to distribute this ambient and cold. To deliver pastry, you have to take that ambient. You don't want to put it in the fridge. Fresh food has its own limitations, though. You've got to distribute it cold. So we need to consolidate that and figure that out before we move forward with it. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to establish that licensing agreement. We've already started talking to the bakery. They're very interested in doing the deal. We have a really solid client base that they want to start working with, and so we're going to give them entry into that market, or into those clients, I should say. Finally, managing our 18 SKUs is one thing across our 53 locations. Doing that with pastry is a whole other beast. We're going to implement an order management system that's going to be able to deal with all those factors. We've actually already pinpointed what that solution is. We're going to have it implemented by the end of next month, and on January 1, we'll launch with that. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions?
All right. So you can see how, I believe it was Sarah, moves through all of that information in a very straightforward, very easy to understand way. And from that perspective, I mean, she gets it in right at that 3-minute mark, which is going to be really key for all of you to practice hitting that 3-minute mark. Whether that's with growth groups, whether that's with pair partners, whether that's with BAs or myself, it doesn't matter, right? But I think that practice is going to be a key part to it. So really focusing on that. And one of the other things I would say to it as well is you could see there wasn't bells and whistles to her presentation, right? it was just the information. There weren't things fading in and out. There wasn't animations. There wasn't a lot of pictures or graphics that were taking up. And some of those things can be okay, but in that very strict timeline, I think it tends to throw off your timing, which can throw off your presentation as well. So that's something that I would work on. Now, the last thing I just wanted to discuss with everybody are just some upcoming due dates. Growth pitch slides, I'd like to have all of those emailed to me and your specific VA by end of day a week from today. So that's Sunday, December 13th. What I will do is I will go through and arrange all of those so that we can go from person to person to person. And you don't have to worry about it, right? You can just do your presentation and I'll take care of advancing slides, things like that. We would like to have the growth plan completed to your BAs, emailed to your BAs by Wednesday, December 16th. The BA evaluations, which will be an online survey. We need everybody to complete those by the same day, Wednesday, December 16th. And finally, your graduation diagnostic. And I'm not exactly sure the timing on this one, but we're going to put Friday, December 18th on this as well. So that's my Sunday. That's my pitch to you guys. I hope that you all are doing well and enjoying some family time today. I look forward to meeting and seeing and laughing with everybody over the next week and a half, and we're gonna have a good time. So thank you for your time this morning. I look forward to it, and we'll go from there. Bye-bye.